Ryan Galloway from LowKickMMA here with veteran heavyweight fighter Mark Hunt. How you doing this morning, Mark?
Yeah, pretty good, man. It's good to be alive.
Good to be alive. How are things in Sydney during all this coronavirus and whatnot?
I'm actually in Newcastle at the moment, but yeah, it's been pretty normal. I've been like this for I think over 20 years. So it's like a holiday all the time, which is pretty
Yeah, not
cool.
a lot's
So, yeah.
changed.
Well, I mean, I don't really go out with heaps of people around. So the COVID, pretty much, you just stick to the people you're always with. So it's you can do the things you normally did anyway. So
For
it's just
sure.
quite cool. So
So what have you
social
been up to?
distancing.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, just a bit of the social distancing and all that stuff, and just doing the local training and stuff, and that's it. So yeah,
Cool. So you've been training in your time off during all this coronavirus whatnot?
not all the time, a little bit off, but spending all the time with the kids and just getting back into it.
Yeah, excellent. So first thing I wanted to bring up with you was your lawsuit with the UFC. That last year, the first one you had was ruled in their favor, and you spoke about preparing a second one. I'm just wondering what the status of that was at the moment. How's that all going?
So the first one we got home time, that was thrown out because in Las Vegas, those pricks fucking pay them all off or some shit, But same thing like with Ken Shamrock. He had open. I was just talking to him the other day. Open a shot case, and they just got his case got thrown out. So they got hometown, which means they got, I don't know what happened. They just got cheated. So and I had to go to an appeal. I've gone to an appeal now. So the last cause of action got thrown out. Well, it didn't get thrown out. It was went to a settlement hearing, and the only thing they told me was settlement was get the fuck out of here. We're gonna drop the lawsuit. We're gonna come after you for the whatever it is that they're gonna owe, $1 million or something US. And you know me, I didn't give a fuck about you and your money. So it was like, you just told me to get the fuck out of here. But and I was, oh yeah, that's fine. Just launch the appeal. Let's do it. So round two, we got not too far away to hear what they've got to say about this, and I think this is going to go to a trial. Maybe that's what I like to go to a trial. I'd like to see what these guys, and that's probably like next week or something. We'll hear about that.
So very soon.
Very soon. So hopefully this goes to trial, and I like to see what else these fuckers are hiding in their cupboards. All these skeletons that have made all their fucking money of cash from everyone, ripping everyone off. So yeah, that's what that is at the moment. Yeah, the other, that's just one of my lawsuits. I'm with the antitrust lawsuit, which is the other one. So that's probably going to be another year or so. But we're finding to bring the Ali Act in.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. What would the Ali Act mean for MMA? How would that affect the sport?
We had some idiot on there earlier talking about unionization, how bad it is and corrupt it is. I'm like, it's only corrupt when you have bad people on the board. If you had ex-fighters on the board, lawyers, you get the fighters view also, but he's talking about the top fighters getting pay cuts. He's such a fucking idiot. How are they going to get pay cuts? You get paid what you're worth, to be honest. And what they're sharing now is only fucking a small percentage of what they should be getting. So the idiot didn't know what he was talking about, and he's talking about some fighters, the top fighters get part of the pay-per-view. Idiot has no ideas of how the contract works. So that's because he hasn't been a UFC fighter. So shut the fuck up and get back down to that dickhead's desk. Fuck, what an idiot.
So one thing I wanted to ask was, recently we saw the champion Henry Cejudo decide to retire in the peak of his career, and a lot of the rumors surrounding that was that he was demanding more money and the UFC just weren't willing to pay that. What are your thoughts as someone like that who's at the peak of their career and is considering walking just because of the financial?
Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And I know this stuff because I was in it. I never got the title. If I did, that would have been exactly like a Henry Cejudo, like the rest of them, speaking my mind, telling I want more. And when you're a top-end prize fighter or the world champion, you don't need to ask more. If that was a boxing champion, do you think he'd be asking for more? No, because it's like I said, they're not sharing the entire revenue. They're only getting a small percentage, and that's totally wrong. And when you got people like asking, they'll probably pay him to be quiet, or not be quiet, but pay him. To be honest, keep the balance. But they know them are screwing people, the fighters, as always. It's just the only issues they have is with people like me and other people that speak up about it, because nothing's going to change unless something's done about it. I know I've been in there already, so and that's why outspoken about it. And and I joined with the other guys in the antitrust lawsuit because I know what they're fighting for is the truth, and it makes things a lot easier to not get screwed as a fighter. So hopefully the benefits of this antitrust lawsuit, the Ali Act, comes for all the fighters that want to be an MMA fighter, and they don't get they get all the benefits of being a top end prize fighter. You don't get no pay cuts. You get but their sharing of the revenue right now is really low.
Yeah, absolutely.
As somebody has said before, the fighters only make 10% of the company. Man, I was sitting there going, dude, do you know if you take away the fighters, you've got no company? Fucking idiot. Anyway, it just blows my mind just how some idiots think.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like you said, the fighters are the company. Without them, it's nothing. So really should be compensated
Correct.
for what they're doing. So just on you, do you have any plans to fight again anytime soon?
Yeah, I've just we're looking at September. We'll see what happens. I've got a few things in the pipeline, and I'm looking forward to ending my career.
Hmm.
Ending my career. I mean, like I said, pretty bitter, not bitter, but bit sour with all my ending of my career with the UFC and how the things have turned out. But I'm still in the battle. I'm still fighting as always. Never give up as always, and especially when you get into this sort of business, you're all in or all out. You got to sit
Yeah,
halfway on the highway because you get run over with, and that includes anything. So yeah,
absolutely.
I'm looking forward to or the whole world I think is looking forward to getting back in it, especially work wise when the virus is over or when everything's controlled about it. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
For sure. And I know you spoke probably a few years back now, 2018, speaking about fighting in Japan again, where you started off and how you'd be interested in doing that. So is that something that interests you more, like fighting for like Ryzen or something like that, other than going back to the UFC, which I can't imagine you'd be too keen on doing at this point?
I'm not going back to the UFC, man. I'm not ever going to go back to the UFC. I mean, honestly, who would want to go and work for them? There's people that say they're the best company in the world. They say that because they're not in it. They've never been in it. And I mean, if you look at it, I mean, if they actually understood what was going on, they're only sharing a small percentage. Even as the champions, like I said, no world champion, especially with any high-paying MMA organization, is asking for more money. When you're the champion, you should be getting paid and accordingly. I mean, you worked hard to be. I mean, why would you want to be one of the best fighters in the world, the best mixed martial artists in the world, when you got to drive around in a fucking Honda or something? I shouldn't say that, but ask for more money. I mean,
Absolutely.
why get a punch? Why get a punch in the face at the highest level for pittance?
Yeah, for sure. So is that you'd be interested in fighting again under Ryzen, who like the Pride guys, I guess, the same company, just coming back, or is that something, or would you
Well,
do kickboxing or
yeah,
something like that?
well, yeah. Look, I'm just gonna do a couple of boxing fights and then look at doing some MMA to finish my career off. Make some money. Like I said, I still got some lawsuits to pay for, but yeah, end my career happy on a note where it's under my terms, not some fucking slave driving company saying, forcing you to fight and doing this shit under, because they want you to do it. Fuck you
Absolutely.
guys, man.
So, what drives you to keep fighting? Is it because you need to get the money to pay off the lawsuits? Is that the driving force for you at this point? Because you've had such a long career and such a successful career. In some points.
Well, I know I'm old. You said that I'm old, but I still, the way I feel at the moment, I feel like I still beat some of the best fighters in the world. I still feel like I'm one of the best fighters in the world. The thing is, I was unhappy how things turned out with the UFC. The last 3 or 4 years, I was, pushed aside with a lot of these cheaters and nothing done about it. People say they put them, through the process. I mean, fuck the process. It doesn't deter none of them. It
Mm.
doesn't deter any of them. There's no penalties enforced. This company does not enforce its penalties. Yet they say we have the best policies of enforcement. Bullshit. They base their enforcement policies off WADA, which is the World Anti-Doping Agency, and then they don't even enforce them. And I know that because I've seen it all. I went through it. I'm like, so you guys have these policies and say you're the strictest and best, but when someone asks you to do something, especially when it's on our terms. You did wrong, you guys did wrong, and then he did wrong. Why don't you guys enforce and use your power on it? Ah, because you guys are full of shit. Yeah, okay. So that's what's happened. A bit upset about it, and of course, I'm a prize fighter. I fight for money. I mean, I don't go to get punched in the face. And I've done it for over 20-something years, or over 35 years, my first fight. And the reason why I'm still doing it is because I'm one of the fucking best. You know?
Absolutely. So, did you say you were doing a boxing match? You say you're going to do some boxing next? Is that the plan?
Yeah, we'll see. We've got something for hopefully September when that's if the virus and everything pushes on. You know, the government changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I'm looking forward to fighting back at home here and getting back in there, and you know, ending my career on a happy note.
Awesome. So that will be within Australia. That'll be an Australian boxing promotion. Awesome.
Well, I hope so. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I guess with all this stuff going on, it's not going to be anytime soon that everyone can fly and compete overseas, I guess. Well, actually, on that, what are your thoughts on the Fight Island? What do you think of that?
I don't really, like I said, I don't support the UFC in any way. And I say to all these fans and people, do not support them because they're not supporting the fighters. They're not looking after these fighters because they're not even employees. They're subcontractors. And, I mean, who gives a shit about no fucking Fight Island? Fucking Dana's just a dickhead trying to rip everyone off. You're not trying to. He's still ripping everyone off. Because, I mean, if he was actually legit with the fighter and everything, these fighters will be getting paid accordingly. And they're not. And we can see that by guys like the world champion, like the Triple C said, Henry Cejudo said, I need more money. Oh, why is that, Henry? Is there something wrong? Yeah, because I'm not getting my fucking worth. I'm not getting what I'm supposed to be getting. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And lastly, I just wanted to ask you something about one of your teammates. So Justin Tuffer debuted in the UFC back in October last year, I believe, and he had that loss, and he came back in the start of this year and got that win. What's it like watching one of your teammates join the UFC and succeed like early in his career?
Well, I mean, it's good, but it's also sad for me to be honest. I mean, I talk to those. I mean, Bam's up here in Nui, also hanging around, training. But like I said, I do support him, but even now, it's hard to support them working with this company because this company's crooked. They know, they're taking advantage of these prize fighters. And like I said, I've been through it all. I've come out the other side. I speak from experience. And like I said, it's hard to support, and I won't support them. I mean, I support them as a friend, and as a brother would that. But they know how I feel about this company, and how they've cheated. Not only me, but many other fighters, many other fighters. So. And I'm fed up with I don't even, so they know how I feel about the company, so yeah.
No problem. And I'll just ask you, is there anything else you wanted to let the fans know, let us know before we wrap this one up?
Yeah, man, do some research on this company. Do not support the UFC because they don't support the fighters. They don't look after them, and everything they put out is garbage. So, they're all this other rubbish, they're just making money for themselves.
No problem. Thanks for your time, Mark. You go.
Yeah, I think it's 12% of. I thought it was 4%, but I think it's 12% is what they're paying, the total revenue they're paying to these fighters. So yeah, thanks for your time, and I'll continue to spread the word.
Yeah, no problems. Thanks for your time, Mark. I hope to see you fight again soon, and all the best, mate.
All right, mate.